So I think we are ready to start our today's webinar. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is safe and sound wherever you are. This is Panos here from LearnWorlds, and I'm super happy to have with me Matt Lee from LiveWebinar. Welcome, Matt. Matt logging in from Boulder, Colorado. I'm joining here from Cyprus, Limassol, Cyprus. I see lots of people still signing in. So please share in the chat your name and where you're logging in from. We will be happy to know. I see already people from all over the world logging into this global webinar of ours. Matt, how's everything over there?
Everything is great here in Colorado. It's a little bit earlier in the day for me than for you guys. I think you're winding your day down, and we're just getting started over here. So everything's good.
Thanks, Matt, for making the time. Well, it's a global business. We have to adapt different time zones. I guess most of our audience, I see here Tony from Trinidad and Tobago, Finland, moi moi to Finland, Oregon, France, Geneva, New Jersey. Great. We have a great participation today. I hope that we'll also have lively comments from our audience. We have a group of moderators here who will try to answer as many questions as possible during the chat, and also pick up the ones that we were able to answer here live on the webinar today, and we'll make sure to follow up with each and every one of you later or at latest tomorrow. So in this presentation, in this live webinar, we're gonna talk about two things that are extremely hot. Two topics that are very hot. One is live courses, online courses, and the next is live webinars. These are two topics that were very trendy even before this pandemic came upon us, but now have become an amazing tool at the hands of content creators, digital marketers, online businessmen and businesswomen, entrepreneurs. Everybody is trying to take advantage of these tools and use them for their own business. So we're gonna see how these two media, courses and webinars, really fit amazing together. What we can do at the intersection of these two great media. And I'm Panos. I'm the co-founder and CEO of LearnWorlds. I am one of the co-founders of this platform. We launched LearnWorlds back in 2014, exactly with this purpose of taking the state of the art of e-learning and bringing it at the hands of everyday content creators and course creators and edupreneurs, and allowing them to create a state-of-the-art online school and profit from their knowledge. And also, we are super happy to be co-hosting this webinar with a LiveWebinar, an amazing tool that helps you from the ease of a web browser like you're participating today to launch amazing, interactive, engaging live webinars. And Matt is here to help us understand this medium and make the best out of this medium. Matt, would you like to say a couple of things about yourself?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me today. I really appreciate the opportunity to get to speak to so many people around the globe. This is pretty amazing. But yeah, just a little bit about me. I've actually been in the web conferencing space for about 20 years. I worked for one of the original companies in this space that competed with WebEx back around the turn of the century. In fact, I remember my very first presentation to demonstrate the technology to a company was with the North Face, the big outdoor clothing company, and I walked in to show them this type of technology. And they were all looking at me with dial-up modems on their desks. And I knew at that point it wasn't going to go very well, but it's just amazing to look back over the past 20 years to see how much this kind of technology has evolved and the space has evolved. And now people do this 4 or 5 times a day when they used to do it just on special occasions. So it's pretty amazing. I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm looking forward to sharing some information with everybody today.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you here, Matt. It's amazing how over the years all these tools have evolved. Same goes for e-learning, and things that seemed I don't know, science fiction 20, 30 years ago, now are the everyday tools of the trade. And what is our mission here is to make these tools approachable, show how user-friendly they are, how easy it is for everyone to launch their online courses or to just spin up a browser and do a live webinar with very low cost and with zero preparation. So we're gonna talk today about how you can use these tools and grow your business, reach your audience, set up a side business, or grow your revenue. We'll give you the options, and it's up to you people to use this good advice to the best of your abilities. So we can start then, Matt. I will start the presentation with let's say we'll start with the courses, about online courses and how they have evolved and how relevant they are to today's business and global environment. Everybody, just make sure that you'll stay until the end. My presentation is going to be about 25 minutes long, and also Matt's are another 25 minutes. At the end, we're going to share lots of freebies for you, resources and downloadables and workbooks and checklists that can help you set up your online courses and be effective in this game. So you will have some tips and tricks that we learned from the best online course creators out there and give them to you ready to be applied. And we will also be very happy to share 2 discounts both for LearnWorlds and for LiveWebinar to make them even more approachable for you, so that you can start testing the tools and see how you can use them to your own benefit. And also we'll follow up with a Q&A, so any questions you have, hopefully we will cover everything today. So I'll proceed with my presentation then. And just a question to start things before we get started. Have you ever hosted a webinar? Just type your question here in the chat. It would be nice to know. Webinars, everybody's doing webinars these days, but we know that sometimes it's not easy to start. Even LearnWorlds as a business, although we knew that everybody, like all the course creators, like to use webinars, we weren't very confident and very safe at the start to start doing webinars. We were worrying about the production, we were worrying about the audio, we were worrying about the video, we were worried about our pronunciation and how well we will be received by an international audience. So there are lots and lots of roadblocks sometimes in creating this kind of content. One of the things that we want to make sure today is that you get out and try it. That one of the first, I like to say that one of the first casualties of COVID was perfectionism. Now we're happy. Every day we work from our homes, we work from our home offices, cats and babies and kids and dogs and whatever, lots of noises, unkempt hair and bad dresses. But we still go online and do our job. So don't be afraid, even if webinars are not a medium that you have used in the past, go out and try it. You can try it with 5 friends initially, and then with 10, and then a bigger audience. And at that point, you will be able to reach out to a global audience or to an audience in your country, in your niche, in your sector. So this is something that you should definitely try and add into your mix of tools. I cannot not comment about the framework where we work in, what is the context, and the context right now is definitely the pandemic. It's something that we all hope will go away very, very soon. On the other hand, it's here, and we have to see how this affects the way we work, the way we communicate, with the way we socialize, we consume, we learn. This is something that for now is here to stay, and we have to adapt, and we have to adapt the way we do business. We have to adopt digital tools, and we have to be much more effective and efficient in everything that we do, so that we can keep running our businesses, our lives. We can keep helping our communities and our families and our businesses thrive. And I have to say that although e-learning was already on a great growth trajectory, it was growing very, very fast as a business. Our more narrow online course platforms and online course business was almost doubling every year between 2017 and 2019. obviously you can understand that the pandemic created a perfect storm for e-learning. Almost overnight, people had to transition online. Even schools, public schools and kindergartens and primary schools, they had to transition online. Universities had to transition online. So people almost overnight found themselves without a way to reach their audiences, without a way to reach their students, their customers, their associates, and they had to find some kind of way to stay connected. In most cases, this was Zoom or Skype, and this is one of the reasons why services like Zoom skyrocketed. But Zoom is just one thing. When we're talking about online education and e-learning, people need a much more structured experience, something that not only shows a bunch of video or some PDFs that you can send them the other way, but where you can create a framework and a structure, and you can have a course experience, and you can have assessments, and you can have content, you can even have communities or certificates or other things that create that surround and create all these things that we usually associate with an online experience. So from a personal experience, I can say that in March 2020, our funnel almost tripled overnight. As most around the mid of March, as most countries were implementing some kind of lockdown, we were seeing thousands upon thousands of people every day trying to find a way to stay connected, to stay relevant, to be able to reach their audiences and talk to them or sell their training or simply connect with them. So. And this created a huge interest for what we called emergency online education, like people trying to find a solution now. But in the longer term, people started thinking more about self-paced training and how you can not just teach live online, but also be able to sell your courses 24/7, package your courses and sell recorded videos. And this is something that is very interesting. Lots of people discovered e-learning through the pandemic, like because of the pandemic, but more people now realize that this model is here to stay, and also that this model can be immensely scalable. If you are a teacher, if you're a trainer, if you are a coach, there are so many hours in the day or in the week that you can teach, like 5 hours per day, 8 hours per day, 40 hours per week. But there are some limits in how big an audience you can reach. While if you record your courses, if you launch an online course and sell it, you can sell it 24/7 to a global audience. And this is one of the great takeaways of online courses, that it's not just you as a trainer who effectively is limited by the available hours or by your resources, but you can create a scalable business. In fact, a business in a box around online courses and share your online your content. And what we hypothesized at the beginning, at the onset of COVID, and we see being validated right now, is that COVID as a crisis did not so much foment drastic changes, like inventing things right out of the blue. Obviously, lots of things changed around us, but mostly when it comes to online training and to online business, it accelerated trends that were already happening. So e-learning wasn't just invented last year, it was already there, but many things started getting accelerated. And some of the trends that I can mention, and I think if you start thinking about it, you will start identifying all these patterns around you. What you see here are trends in how we live and how we work that were already present. So location independent, being a remote worker or being a nomad or working from home, whatever, isn't something new. It was here before. LearnWorlds as a business was a remote first business since the day we were founded back in 2014. But obviously now this happens at a global scale, and even some of the biggest businesses in the world, like Google or Facebook, work almost exclusively remotely. So that it was already there, but now this has become the major paradigm for everything what we do. Financial independence also was a very hot topic. Being able to create the side income or to create your own job if you cannot find your job. Having side revenue or having a side project was something that was very, very in vogue even before COVID. But now everybody is trying to become, to create alternative sources of income. And I can guarantee you that online courses can be one of the most amazing sources of income. It's almost like everything that people used to do back in the 2000s, let's say, with online, with ebooks, like getting revenue, presenting themselves as experts, or creating brand recognition and brand awareness around their names. Now this can be done much, much more efficiently with an online course. Time independence, also very, very important, being able to escape 9 to 5 and to work anywhere, anytime, whenever you choose. This is something that your own online business in a box created around your online courses can make that happen for you. We have some amazing examples of people who, spend a month, create a couple of online courses, they launch them, and then they have to log in just a few hours per week in order to maintain a relationship with their customers, and then that's it. For a few months they can just continue selling the courses that they have already built. This is an amazing way of starting to thinking about how you can change your situation, how you can work more effectively with the content you have, with the things that you know, with the skills you already have. And also, we are seeing even faster now, but the trend was already there, everything going online. Business, commerce, learning, banking, finance, whatever, more and more things happening online. And you can also imagine what will be the effect for the years to come. During the peak of the pandemic, about 1.6 billion students from schools all around the world were doing some form or another of online education. In some courses, in some countries, it was full online because people had, iPads and devices and lots of laptops. In other countries, it might have been because of lack of bandwidth or resources. It might have been a not absolutely 100% online experience, but still people were learning online. All these 1.7 million kids will be the remote learners, the remote workers of the future. They have been acquainted with online courses. They know what an online course is. They know what this experience is, and they will be able to just purchase content and purchase knowledge through that avenue. So this is not something that was just created with COVID and will go away. This is something that is here to stay, and it will become the major paradigm around how people learn and how people work. And the same goes for online, for learning, for education. We were already seeing the decline of traditional academia. People not wanting to go into huge debt in order to get a degree. Obviously, we're not here to replace universities. Everybody wants their doctor or their lawyer to have received an amazing degree from one of the top universities. But it is true that some of the skills that we need for our work or for our day-to-day and entertainment cannot, or universities are not the best way to procure this kind of skills. So if you want to become a web developer, you don't necessarily have to spend 3 or 4 years in a university and get into hundreds of thousands of debt. In some cases, you just have to find an amazing online course, study for a few hours, and then you get the basic skills. The same goes if you want to learn something around cooking or around painting. You don't necessarily have to go through a traditional educational experience. So people now are more focused on skills. We're going into a skills-based economy. Sometimes a mini degree or a credential or a certificate is just enough to give you the knowledge that you need, or proof enough in order to get an advancement in your career, to find the next job, to find a next gig. So we are seeing more and more. This happens even through MOOCs, that you don't necessarily have to enroll into one of the best universities, but you can go online and find an amazing course from one of the best professors in the world and attend this online course. So things are becoming much more let's say hybrid and much more diverse, and you can find the portion of knowledge that you require for the specific task at hand, purchase this knowledge, acquire the skills that you want, and then you can proceed to the next skills. So when it comes to online learning, the genie is out of the bottle. 2020 was the year that learning turned digital irrevocably, and 2021 continues down that trend. More and more people, businesses, individuals, entrepreneurs invest in online training, and they're trying to use online courses, either for selling directly or just educating a bunch of people if you want to do that. So will we go back? We all hope that COVID will disappear tomorrow. We know that this is probably not going to happen, but we also understand that people have realized that online learning can be very effective and very efficient. So I don't see a world where, I don't know, a company will need to train 200 people and we'll get them into a hotel room for 5 hours of PowerPoint. This will never happen. I mean, we will meet and we will greet and we will have drinks and coffees and mix in conferences, but training will become much more hybrid. Most of the boring parts will happen online, and most of the interactive parts will still happen in a webinar like we do now. So what we realize and what we see from some of the top schools that we help run here at LearnWorlds is that once you combine self-paced courses, which have recorded videos and exercises, assignments, whatever, with a great medium for connecting with people, either creation of a community or a live webinar like we do now, then you can have some amazing results. So this is where you can combine the best of both worlds. And this is what we see. Habits are changing, huge increase in online shopping. Everybody now has a credit card and know how to use that online. People are not afraid to use virtual experiences. Unfortunately, in some cases, because of lockdowns, they have nothing else to do. So they just go online, either for gaming or for Netflix or whatever, or why not purchase and study an online course. People work remotely more and more, and people then they will be for the next few years much more resource efficient, and they will try to use things that make sense from a financial point of view, and online courses are precisely that kind of thing. So here are some numbers for the future of online learning. The projections for 2025 show that e-learning will be something around $325 billion. These are huge numbers. They don't make sense even to me, but this is a huge part of the economy. More and more people going online. You see here that the compound growth rate is about 18% per month, but 18% per year. But in some cases, online courses, we've seen some huge businesses coming up, and also here in LearnWorlds, we help run some multi-million-dollar businesses who just sell online courses, so virtual products, either individual courses or subscriptions or memberships, and the growth potential is immense. Just to reiterate what I mentioned about how we can combine the best of both worlds, although the majority of courses that people create have on-demand courses, so recorded videos, we see lots and lots of more and more people adding live components in their online classes. So it can be either a webinar that they use as a marketing tool in order to bring in more people. So you can do a free webinar, a free seminar, a mini masterclass, and you can share that just for more people to know about you and about what you have to offer. But also we see live webinars becoming part of courses. So it can be a daily 15 minutes connection, like a group meeting or whatever, touching base in order to help your students. It can be a weekly webinar. It can be a weekly Q&A. It can be a monthly big webinar. There are all sorts of ways, smart ways that you can use live webinars in order to maintain connection with your students and keep the community running, and keep them interested, and having them around your courses, so that you can at the end sell more online courses. And lots of people come to us and say, I don't have the content. I'm a teacher perhaps, but I don't have any ready-made courses. Where should I start with? Here, we always say that you have to be smart and strategic about reusing the content and repurposing the content. One of the amazing things that we saw with the onset of COVID is that in many cases, people launched online schools and online courses without having a single recorded video. And they did that with live classes, either using LiveWebinar or using Zoom or using whatever tool you might have at hand. You can just, if you know your stuff, if you've taught before, or if you have an audience, you can just create an online course in LearnWorlds, set a price or give it out for free, embed, and Matt will show how very easily this can be done a bit later. You can embed your live webinar and you can start selling or sharing your courses. So you don't necessarily have to create the content. You can just teach live, record this live class, and then repurpose and reuse this live webinar as a self-paced course. So if you know your stuff and you have your content in whatever way, it can be a blog post, an ebook, presentations, whatever, you can just teach it live, record it, and reuse it later. So there are many ways in which you can really take advantage of your content and repurpose your content. So now I would like to talk a bit more practical about the online courses and show you just some glimpses of the LearnWorlds platform and what you can do. One question here for you is: have you ever sold an online course or a live class? So this will, please feel free to share your answers. It will be interesting for me to see how you can, what's your experience, so that we can adapt a bit the presentation here. We've just used one of the great features here of LiveWebinar, a nice live poll where you can just vote yes or no. So for those who have created and sold online courses, I will show the LearnWorlds platform and how intuitive it can be for you to, when you want to create your courses. Hopefully you will get some nice teachings out of that, and you might even give LearnWorlds a try. For those that haven't done it, I hope that I will be able to demystify this and show you how easy it is to just go online, create your online school, and start creating and selling your online courses. So just quickly about LearnWorlds. LearnWorlds is an all-in-one tool. So it helps you with everything that you need to create and sell online courses. It's a very broad tool, so it has lots of functionality inside. The first thing that it does is it allows you to create your entire website presence, your online school website. So if you do have an existing website, that's absolutely fine. LearnWorlds can be published on the side as a subdomain, for example, academy.myschool.com. So we can perfectly well coexist with your existing website. But if you don't have a website, then LearnWorlds can become your website, which means you don't need to worry about hosting, you don't need to worry about WordPress and plugins or whatever. LearnWorlds can become an amazing online website, and also it's absolutely specialized for online courses and for selling online courses, for that matter. So it's the only website that you will ever need for your online courses. Also, it's e-commerce enabled out of the box. So if you want to sell your online courses, only thing you need is to plug in your payment gateway, Stripe, PayPal, or a number of other payment gateways that we support. And then you set a price and you start accepting money. You don't need anything else. All the e-commerce functionality, the coupons, the subscriptions, the memberships, the discounts, the bundles, everything, the payment plans, if you want to sell your courses, like you have expensive courses and you want to sell them by installments, all these things are handled by the platform, so that you don't have to worry with the technical stuff. You only have to worry with your content and how and where to find more users for your online school. And obviously LearnWorlds is also a learning management system, so it's very easy for you to go into the LearnWorlds platform and create an entire online course, use any kind of content you need for your online course, and just share it. So very quickly, I will show you, I think in about a minute, how easy it is to create. I have to choose here screen sharing. you will see how easy it is to create an online course. I hope you can see the screen that I'm sharing. Okay. Yep. So here is a little nice wizard we have for you when you want to create your first course. The wizard asks you a few helper questions. So let's say that I want to create a course about digital marketing 101. This is the title of my course. And then this is the URL of my course. It always makes sense for SEO purposes to have some nice, great, clear words here separated by hyphens. So this is where my course, the URL of my course will be. Then I can choose what type of course I want it to be. Do I want this to be a free course or a paid course? I'm going for paid this time around. Then I set up a price and I say, okay, I'm starting with a starting price of $99. But because I love my buddies here, I will make this a discounted price of $49. And then I choose an image for my course card. And if I don't have an image, we have an amazing integration here with the Unsplash library of free images. So you can just use any of those. Nice little image for my course. This is how it would look like. Here, let's say that this is the best digital marketing course money can buy. And then I'm clicking next. And that's it. I don't want to play around with any other changes. I have created the blueprint of my online course, and automatically the platform creates for you an amazing landing page that if you like, you can go in. Let's preview how the landing page looks like. So these are some ready-made templates that I can go in. I can change the names. I can change, like this can be here about the instructor, and then I can have some course description. Everything is absolutely editable. You can see here my price. You can see here some other information. I can change all these things. But what I wanted to show you first is how to add content within your online school, within your online course, and this is quite easy. I will create a few sections. Let's say I'm creating a first section that I want this to be free. So this is intro. Everybody can access that. And then here, I can host my videos. Very, very easy. This can be video number 1. And in here, LearnWorlds offers free hosting for all your videos. So you can just go to your video library. You can upload any kind of video files you want, and then you can use them within your class. Ebooks, PDFs, YouTube videos, SoundCloud, audio, SCORM. I saw a couple of questions before about SCORM. We do support fully SCORM in your courses. You can embed live sessions with Zoom or with LiveWebinar for that matter. You can create assignments and quizzes and formal exams, timed or not timed, assignments or file assignments. You can even share certificates with your students, and so at the end of each course they can get a certificate. It's super easy to create any kind of user experience, any kind of content you like. And especially for videos, we have a very this is an ebook. Especially for videos, we also have a very powerful interactive video feature where you can just go in, get a linear, in some cases even boring video, and convert it into an engaging and interactive experience. For example, you can add quizzes on top of your video. So the video plays, the video pauses, a question pops up, and then students have to answer, and based on the answer, they get some feedback. So this is already fully offered within LearnWorlds. It's an amazing functionality if you're using lots of video or repurposing your existing recordings, and you can get some amazing results. Even one of the things, for example, that we will do after this webinar, we will take the recording from LiveWebinar, we will upload it to our LearnWorlds Academy. It's a great site we have with free content about LearnWorlds, and in there we can even automatically create transcripts of everything that I and Matt say here in the video in this webinar, and we will be able to use these transcripts. Lots of settings here. I will not go into the details. You can always just go to our website, start a free trial, play around. You can even attend one of the webinars where my team explains in much more detail like how you can use the platform. The settings are absolutely immense. I'm not I'm not over-promising when I'm saying that LearnWorlds is by far the most customizable platform in the market. And the next thing that I would like to show, because I talked about how you can create your online courses, is how you edit your site. And Matt will also cover that briefly later, as he will show how you can embed your live webinars. The one thing that I want to show in order to convince you how easy it is to start with LearnWorlds is that whenever you get a LearnWorlds free trial, we give you access to some amazing templates right out of the box. So these are 8 full-blown e-learning, e-commerce enabled websites. You can choose one, let's say this one personal, or a more corporate one, or a one that is a bit more artistic, whatever you like. This is just the start, and then you can simply customize everything. You can choose a different color theme if you like. Let's say I'm creating a flavor 2. Because I want to, let's say I want to redesign my site. I already have a great website, but I can go in and create another flavor. And then in here, I can go and start editing all the pages. LearnWorlds is equivalent to Wix, Squarespace, or anything else. Everything that you see here is just editable. I can go in here and I can say that this is my digital marketing academy. We have some amazing templates. Everything is mobile friendly and mobile optimized. So you can just start with any of those, click anywhere. We have amazing layouts that you can choose. You can, with a click of a button, you can absolutely change the layout, and then you can use one image or the other. And let's say this one here looks funny. You can put it here as a background. You can do anything with the website builder. So this has been designed so that you don't need a designer or you don't need a developer. You can just start with the built-in themes, and then you can play around with the courses. You can see already here, this is my course, how it looks like. You can play around with the courses with the editor, and you can create any kind of result you want. So this is what I wanted to show about the platform. I don't want to burden you more with the details. What I can say is that it's super easy to just play around, set up your online school in a matter of minutes. In there, you can find all the marketing tools you will ever need. Just go over to our website when you have the time, start a free trial, no credit cards required, no strings attached, and you will get a full-blown website, online e-learning website in 5 minutes. And then it's up to you to just upload your content or connect your live webinar account and start teaching to your audience. All the marketing integrations, everything you need is absolutely embedded within the platform. So I'm very I'm thankful for your patience until this point. I hope that you got some great at least the drive and the impetus to go out and test it. This is not rocket science. We did the rocket science actually, so that you don't have to, so that you can get a great platform where you can just embed live webinar and just start using some of the things that Matt is about to show us. So Matt, button is over to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I hope I can match Panos's energy and enthusiasm. That was excellent, and I really love hearing founders talk about their companies. You can tell he's got a lot of excitement and a lot of belief in what he's built. And it's having just started playing with it this week, I can tell you it's all pretty impressive. Just to give you a little bit more about me, I mentioned earlier that I have worked in this web conferencing space for about 20 years, in addition to working with technologies like Raindance and Adobe Connect and WebEx and stuff over the years. I also ran my own business from 2004 to 2019, and we had built our own shopping cart solution and Salesforce.com apps in order to integrate popular learning management systems with e-commerce and with a CRM platform. So we were catering to the space that you guys all seem to play in, which is, selling courses. And one of the things that I always thought was compelling about the training industry, especially if you're monetizing and selling your courses, is it tends to be a little bit recession proof. I got into that space kind of around 2008, 2009 timeframe, which was just in time for the last big economic kind of downfall that we had, the big recession of 2008. And our business might have done more revenue that, those couple of years than we did the whole rest of the time I was in business. We were crushing it back then. And I think, you happen to work in a space where, when the economy is down, you've got a lot of people that want to go take training to kind of re-educate themselves and replant themselves into the economy. And when things are going well, you got a lot of onboarding going on and a lot of people trying to keep up with a competitive marketplace. So everyone's always, looking to do training. So whether the economy is good or bad, it's booming for the online training space. So I think that's really an interesting place to be. And I think you're going to find that using webinars within that space can really help you solve a couple of different problems. It's kind of rare, if you look across the market, not many industries can say, hey, we have this one tool that we can use both to promote what we do and use it as a tool to deliver what it is we do. So I think you guys kind of sit in a really unique space, and I think you have a lot of potential to do a lot of really great things with webinars, and both the way that you market your services and the way that you deliver your services. And that's really what we're going to focus on today. I'm going to take my 20 years of experience and try to condense that down to 20 minutes, 25 minutes here, and share with you some things that I have seen over the years that have really worked, both in marketing your courses. So we're going to talk about how to pick a really good, impactful topic, to draw people in, to get interest in what you're doing. We're going to talk about how to organize your content so that people come and they're engaged and get something from it. And then we're going to kind of change gears towards the end and show you how to use this type of same technology, how to use it to actually deliver your courses, so that you're, kind of getting more bang for your buck with this platform or these types of platforms. So, this is kind of just a question we're going to be addressing throughout the entire presentation, and I think there's going to be a poll or a question. Something's going to pop up here on your screen here in a second to allow you to kind of engage with this. But why are our webinars a great way to promote and sell your online courses? So I think Peter was going to launch either a survey or a poll. Hold on a second. I think he's doing it now. There we go. And if you would take a second and respond, at least kind of your preferred answer to this question, and then once we're done, we'll kind of show you how everybody responded. We'll give this another 30 seconds or so here. It's like a lot of people. It's actually not a big surprise. Most people are selecting because you can reach more leads, which is a very compelling reason to use this type of technology. But outside of that, there's quite a bit of kind of disparity there. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and share the results so you can take a look at how other people in the event have responded. But there's obviously you can see there's a lot of different reasons and a lot of different whys to use this type of platform in the things that you're doing. I'm going to jump back over and we'll get back into our presentation here. So again, I've touched on a couple things about the e-learning space in general. Panos also shared some stats about why it's compelling to be in the market that you're in. And these are some things that kind of cater a little bit more to the webinar space as it relates to online courses and e-learning. But there's just some takeaways here. I'm not going to read the slide, but it's obviously a huge market, as we've already talked about. Not only is it already huge, but it's continuing to grow on an annualized basis. As far as using webinar technology, and this was reflected in our survey just a few seconds ago, most people see it as a way to increase your audience and essentially generate leads and attract more students. And that sentiment is echoed by a lot of the popular marketing organizations, including 99 Firms. They talk about how you can attract 500 to 1,000 registrants for your webinars if you're doing them consistently and doing them on a regular basis. I mean, even our little event today, I think we had close to 1,000 registrants, and we're currently sitting on about 225 active participants. That's a great way to get your message out. We didn't have to rent out any hotel space. We didn't have to travel. We didn't have to go. You can see from here, I'm in my room. so we can do this kind of stuff from our homes, and we can, get a lot of things done without having to travel and incur a lot of excess costs, and we can get a lot of bang for our buck, basically. So let's jump in here a little bit more. I want to talk about a little bit about some case studies. And I've never worked with Barbara here, but this is just a great illustration of how webinars can be utilized within your marketing routines. And I actually have a personal story I'd like to share here. I mean, you can read the stuff that's on screen, but I work with an organization here in the States called Ken Cook, and Ken Cook builds e-learning content for a lot of major manufacturers like Bobcat and Caterpillar and Volvo, like a lot of major like automobile and like heavy equipment manufacturers. They build out all their safety training and build a lot of their content. And they actually use LiveWebinar as a way to kind of promote micro learning that they refer to it. They'll interview their customers, and they'll highlight very specific topics that their customers are training on, rather than, hey, here's a webinar on how to fix this engine piece within a Volvo automobile. They'll strip it down to a very, very kind of micro topic and bring in their customers and do almost like little personalized interviews and case studies. And they get a couple things out of it. They kind of showcase their customers in a way that highlights them and makes them feel special. They get to participate in this, and it becomes a kind of a promotional piece for them. But it also allows Ken Cook to shine a light on the types of training that they build, and without ever really going out and saying, hey, look what we can do for you. They're just showcasing examples of what they do, which brings people in and gets people excited about asking them questions to learn more. So webinars can really do a lot for you, other than just being a show and tell. And let's jump into a meeting and let me, just tell you everything I know about this topic. You can use webinars in a lot of different ways, from case studies to testimonials to, breaking down, an entire full week course into a little 5-minute micro learning where somebody can come and get one piece of information, and maybe that's all they need, is just that one thing to get them excited about wanting to learn more. And this whole process really speaks to this whole ADA model for kind of generating traffic and converting that traffic into, monetized business. When you look at even the event that we're doing today, like I said, we had close to 1,000 registrants. That's the total attention that we put on this topic. We went out and promoted it through our social networks. We've got, our own database of contacts that we shared through newsletters and through, personal outreach. And we got, the attention of about 1,000 people. And then of those 1,000, folks, we got, close to 250 at one point were logged in, and those people came in and obviously were interested in the topic enough to take some time out of their day and come learn more. Some of you folks are asking questions. I've seen just a ton. I can't even keep up with what's coming in because I'm trying to also talk, but I just see a ton of messages and questions coming in through the chat window. So those are people obviously that have some desire about learning more and trying to take what we're talking about today and apply that in your business. And then ultimately at the end of this call, we're going to present you with some nice calls to action for having attended. You're going to get some discounts and some free trials and all kinds of goodies for having spent some time with us today. And you'll get the opportunity to go kick the tires on this technology and see if it works in your world. Now, the biggest thing, and this is where I see most folks, I wouldn't say it's making a mistake, or I mean, you really can't make mistakes when you're talking about things that you have passion about and things that you're expert in. But when you're framing the topic of a webinar, where you want to attract somebody to come in and ultimately pay for a course, you want to not tease them, but you want to kind of incite them to take action, to come and learn more through compelling topics. Like for example, if I wanted to teach a course on how to use Adobe Photoshop, I might put up a description of a webinar like, hey, come and learn how to use Adobe Photoshop. That just might be my topic. Well, that might be a little boring. And somebody that's sitting out there that works in a marketing capacity or works in a training capacity, works in a project management capacity or a product management capacity, whatever kind of business leader or user that they are, they may not even know that they need to learn Adobe Photoshop. So, seeing a topic that says, hey, come and learn this, it might just go right over their heads, and they might be, just disregard it. But if you put out a topic like, hey, how to create images that drive more traffic to your website, or how to create videos that will help you sell more on your site. Those are topics that speak to actual business cases, and they have more action words and have more, verbiage that matters more to the average user. Like I would really love to learn how to drive more traffic to my website. I may not even know if Photoshop is a tool that would help me do that. And so you want to make sure that you're taking all these things that you love, the things that you're passionate about, the things that you're, a subject matter expert in, and apply that to, again, little things that will compel people to want to come and learn just a little something. Most of you, or most all of us, when we hear something, we only remember, 7 to 10% of what we hear the first time we hear it. So you obviously wouldn't want to throw up everything you know about Photoshop into a single 45-minute webinar. Most people will remember one thing, and it probably won't even be the thing that matters to them. So you want to pick a topic. You want to make sure that you're giving them a nice action takeaway. Give them something that's impactful, that will attract and drive a real business case that they're trying to solve for. So we're going to have another little, again, I don't know if this is going to be a poll or if it's going to be one of those red, yellow, thumbs up, thumbs down buttons at the bottom. But we'd like to hear from you. Which one of these is a more compelling title for an event that you might want to attend? And I think Peter's going to launch something here, and I'm going to take a quick drink of water while he's doing that. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's not anything that's going to come in there. There we go. So we'll just give that a second to play out. But obviously, when you pick a title that is much more action oriented, like I might be sitting around like, gosh, I've got this black and white photo. I need to learn how to colorize it. That speaks to a problem I'm having right now. And I may not even know that Photoshop is a tool that could solve that problem for me. So you want to speak in terms of actionable business problems that you can solve for people. And you guys can play around with those buttons all you want, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward here. Give me a second. Although I don't seem to be able to progress this forward. Do we need to turn off the, I'm going to turn off the, there we go. Did I go too far? Yeah, sorry. I was clicking and then it jumped ahead. Okay. So one of the most important things about preparing for a webinar is all the planning that goes into it. Like, you guys are probably watching today's event and you're like, oh gosh, Panos and Matt, they just nailed this thing. They must do this for a living. This must be, something that they do all the time. And we don't. I mean, I do it sometimes, I do day-to-day meetings and I do speak on webinars. I just got introduced to LearnWorlds in the past week. I've met Panos once or twice. We did some dry runs together, but the thing to take away is we didn't just show up today and wing this thing. It took some planning, a number of meetings between the speakers and our respective marketing departments. Kind of fine tuning the messaging. Try to really dial in what it is you want to teach folks, and then try to stay on topic. So you want to look at, again, there's some bullet points here. I'm not going to read them, but you want to do a nice introduction, which we tried to do today. We tried to make it a little bit conversational so that we all feel like we know each other and create some intimacy, that kind of thing. Want to talk through what it is we're going to do and what you're going to learn. And then we've had a lot of this teaching part. I've been disseminating some information since I've gotten up here, and then Panos obviously gave you a tremendous amount of information. That was all the educational part, and then we're going to kind of wind things up here in a bit, and we're going to open the floor for questions. And we're, like I said, we got some goodies for you at the end that you'll be able to take action on. And if you want to learn more by kicking the tires on either or both platforms, you'll be able to do that. So when you're doing the teaching part, you really want to emphasize, again, things that are going to be of interest. Tell personal stories. Like today we shared a little case study on screen of a woman that's using webinars in her day-to-day educational business, and her takeaway is it's an integral part. She can't really grow her business without them. I've got a number of personal stories of folks, and I shared the one with the folks from Ken Cook that are using this type of technology really in a different way that ultimately helps them drive course building and the courses that they sell, but they're using it in a more marketing way to create little micro learning instances that help people kind of learn about what they're doing without feeling like they're being told what they're doing. Always be thinking about the real value that you're bringing to your audience. And again, this is what's great about online learning and webinars as a way to market that is your content is already naturally kind of configured and conformed to be presented in this way. Most of your content's going to be PowerPoints. It's going to be video content. You're going to have recorded stuff. You're already going to have a lot of materials and sample quizzes and all the stuff that you make as a part of your business. And all that stuff can be, converted and leveraged in a webinar like this. So you actually have the perfect product to translate it into a marketing tool, such as a platform like LiveWebinar. Again, your pitch needs to be something very specific. You want folks coming in with the idea that they're going to learn a very specific thing. I'm going to keep going back to my Photoshop example because I think it tells a good story. And again, maybe I want people to buy my Photoshop course, but what they might get in a webinar is how to use a clipping mask to edit your image to make it more friendly on social media. Totally dialed in, very targeted, specific use case of how I might use Photoshop. And it's one of like a million features. But if I'm trying to attract folks that are trying to drive their social media presence, that's going to get them to come in and learn that one thing. And then that one thing could help them understand that there's a bigger thing to be had and that can help them in other aspects of their business. So that pitch needs to be very specific, but ultimately you're trying to lead folks down a path to hopefully get them to a position where they'll buy. When you're doing your marketing and you're promoting your courses, think in terms the same way that you would think about building your own personal resume. When you're building your resume and looking for a job, no one ever wants to read, I set up webinars for our company. You want to frame things in, I drove, X number of leads over this period of time using webinar technology, or I generated. You want to use action verbs that show that you accomplish things. Same thing with the way that you're promoting your events. You don't want to just put a, register now kind of action, because that may not mean anything. But when you look at these action words, buy now versus, save up to 40%. Well, saving up to 40% sounds really compelling. That sounds like a good deal. Boost your conversions today. Well, boost them from what? Like from 1 to 2? Like that's not really all that great. Obviously I doubled it, but that's not a huge impact. But boosting conversions by 28%, that's a number that I can, kind of overlay on top of my own view of my current marketing. And I go, okay, well, if we got 1,000 registrants on this event, if I can increase my registrants by 28%, that's an actionable number that I can think about and I can use in my planning. So always be thinking of your call to action in the form of an action. Don't just use passive words to get people to do things. So once your webinar is over, you're really still leveraging the power of the webinar to maintain relationships. Think about a webinar as like a personal meeting. Like this is us having a date. This is us having an engagement. This is us having some level of interaction that will require some additional follow-up. I've worked in sales most of my career, and we always say, that yes is a yes, but no just means not right now. There's any number of reasons why, now may not be the right time. You might be in an existing contract that needs to play out. You may be building out new course materials, and you're going to be doing a relaunch of your school. So the timing's just not right. Or, there's any number of reasons why you may be saying no to a particular type of action, but that doesn't mean it'll always be no. You never know, like when it comes to promoting, like, for example, webinar technology, maybe you don't need a platform right now, or if I'm thinking in terms of a course, maybe I really want to take that Photoshop course because it sounds fun, but I'm too busy at work. I'm putting in 60-hour weeks right now, and I'm trying to get some other things done, so I don't really have the time to spend on that kind of self-development. But suddenly a pandemic hits, and maybe I lose my job, and now I really need those Photoshop skills to get that next job. So I'm probably going to want to go engage with an organization that's staying in touch with me. I'm getting their newsletters. I'm getting, a call, or maybe a touch point from an account manager on a consistent basis, letting me know, hey, we've got new deals, we've got new offerings. I'm just typically going to go buy from and engage with the people that are staying in front of me. So webinars are really just a way to kind of start the conversation, and you want to make sure you've got good follow-up, and your follow-up will be different. If you've got people that, come in, I'm sure there's going to be one or two folks today that are like, yeah, we definitely want to do something like this. Let's talk. But there's going to be a number of people who are like, well, this is great. It's good to know. I'm just checking out what's available out there, but I'm not quite ready. So we want to make sure we're taking care of both types of people with an appropriate type of follow-up. We're going to be more direct with some folks, whereas other folks it's going to be a little bit more passive and a little bit more ongoing education and awareness sort of stuff. Oops. So this is just a quick little kind of flow chart of kind of how this event was put together. I've kind of referenced it a couple of times because it's obviously extremely relevant since it's right in front of all of us. But we generated that awareness through social media outreach, through newsletters, through direct email blasts, things like that. You may have even heard about it just through Google. Maybe you Googled a certain topic, landed on one of our respective pages, and suddenly you're on a registration page for attending an event. So we focused on driving traffic. That created registrations, which we use MailChimp for all of our email blasts. So we were using a MailChimp form, which then again led down to really two different types of people. We've got either folks that attended, or there'll probably be folks that will watch the replay because we are recording today's event. And then, like I said, some folks will either be a yes and they'll want to buy something, or they'll sign up for a trial or something like that. And other folks will, again, be a not right now, and they'll fall into more of our drip campaign, ongoing education kind of stuff. So let's take a quick look at a couple of use cases. So I'm not going to do like a full-on demo of LiveWebinar. At this stage of the game, most people know that platforms like this can do screen sharing. You can do chat. You can do whiteboarding. Like, I'm not going to do a feature demo. I want to talk about some of the things that separate LiveWebinar from some of the other platforms out in the market and show you how to use some of those differentiators to kind of fuel your marketing and your online training, course development. So one of the first things I always like to point out, and Panos touched on this earlier, is everything you're seeing here today is all browser based. So nobody had to install any software, nobody had to load in any plugins. As long as you had a browser that was connected to the internet, you're able to come in and see video, hear audio, watch screen sharing, all the things that you would do with any other platform. You're able to do it all through a browser. Now that may not seem like a radical feature, but that's actually one of the biggest selling points of a platform like LiveWebinar, is because when you're in a space like you're in, where you're dealing with a lot of external folks, like most big companies, they tend to standardize on certain technologies. Like I deal with organizations all the time that they're standardized on Microsoft Teams, or they're standardized on Zoom or GoToMeeting, or name your platform. And they do that mostly for security reasons, and it gives them one kind of software application that they have to maintain. Maintaining current versions of software on lockdown desktops across an entire organization can be a very daunting task. So it makes a lot of sense why folks would do that. But when you're in an industry where you're constantly dealing with folks who are external to your domain and to your company, you don't have any control over what technologies people have access to. So by being browser-based, we were able to accommodate over 200 people today from different countries, from different walks of life, from different organizations. And as far as I could tell, we had very minimal technical issues getting people into our events. So one of the biggest benefits of a platform like LiveWebinar is the ability to kind of knock down those barriers and just make sure that folks aren't having technical trouble just getting into your event in the first place. So that's very important. The other thing, and let me share my screen. Another major kind of value proposition for our product is the ability to embed our solution into other platforms. We are really kind of a development tool. Like when you look at LiveWebinar, that's kind of the culmination of everything that's possible with our platform. But our system is fully customizable using APIs and providing our customers with direct access to style sheets. You can customize over 2,000 different elements of our platform. And if you don't really want to be in the development game, you don't want to have to go in and worry about APIs and all that kind of stuff. Every time you set up an event with us, we actually generate an embed code where you can take a particular meeting room and you can drop that into another site, and it can be seamlessly embedded, just like a YouTube video, within that platform. So when it comes to both a marketing solution and a online course solution, I can be embedded on the homepage, which I'm going to show you right now. If I jump over to my LearnWorlds account, this is just a homepage here in LearnWorlds. And again, I just got introduced to this technology about 3 days ago. So I was able to do this with literally no training. I just went in and started poking around. Now I'm also not a designer. So I was telling Panos this earlier, it was pretty easy to figure out what buttons to push and, kind of where to go to add different types of content. But I'm not exactly, a graphic designer. So it's not as pretty as it could have been. But all I did was load in a banner image here. I pasted in, I kind of copied and pasted the event that we're doing today and just brought that information over. And then I took the registration page from our system, from LiveWebinar, and I embedded it right here on this homepage. So this is literally a webinar that I created in LiveWebinar, and I embedded it into the LearnWorlds system without any training. And now I can generate leads without anybody really knowing that this is a separate technology. The entire workflow will take place right here on this page. No one ever leaves my domain. No one ever leaves the system, and it's all kind of a seamless user experience. Now, another cool thing that you can do here, this is for a live event, but we have a concept called evergreen webinars. And I saw that question come across the chat window. People were asking about that. So another thing that you can do in this case is you can pre-record all your little micro learnings, all your webinar, all your marketing content, and you can still create a registration page and have recurring events. Like I'm going to launch a evergreen event here. Give me a second. This is going to open in a different window. And this is just a pre-recorded one. I don't have a registration page in front of this one. It's just automatically launching, but there could be a registration form in front of it so I could capture lead information when somebody goes to watch it. But this is just a pre-recorded webinar. It's gonna launch and run all on its own. And and it's actually got audio, so I'm going to turn it off. it's coming. I can hear it in my ears there. But yeah, so you can promote both live webinars and evergreen webinars that are all pre-recorded, and then you can set up your evergreen webinars on like a recurring schedule, just like you might make a recurring meeting in Outlook where you have like weekly team meetings or things like that. You can have a recorded webinar that runs every week at Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And it's just kind of set on autopilot and it just automatically goes. I'm going to jump back over here to, I'm going to jump out of here. And that's really how we use LiveWebinar from a marketing perspective. Again, using those embed tools, we can embed our registration pages and our webinar capabilities. You can pre-record like testimonials and things like I was talking about how Ken Cook does, and just embed that stuff all over your website. So now we're going to talk a little bit about transitioning to actually delivering your content in an online course. This graphic here just kind of talks about all the different ways that you can use LiveWebinar, and we've talked about these and a couple of different examples, like permanent rooms. That was my live registration page that I showed on the LearnWorlds homepage. Evergreen webinars would be your pre-recorded webinars that, again, can be used not only for marketing, but you can also use your evergreen webinars for your courses. If all your courses are on demand, your instructors can jump into a live webinar meeting room, pre-record their lectures full on with whiteboarding and screen sharing and all the things that they would need to do in order to convey the topic of the day. And then those can be pasted inside of the course structure. Recordings, an evergreen webinar is kind of a recording, but it's more of a full-on webinar. I always think of recordings as more like snippets that you might want to pull out. Again, going back to like testimonials or use cases and things like that. You can record little 1, 2, 3 minute videos, and those can either be a part of a course or a part of your marketing strategy. Your online collaboration features. I'm actually working with an organization here in the States that wants to use LiveWebinar for student access. So they've already got a solution for how their teachers are doing lectures, but they want an impromptu way for one student to initiate an online like tutoring session or like collaborative session within a group, right within a course. And so we're putting together a solution for them to be able to embed live webinars as a part of this student use case. They're also wanting to use it for the K-12 market, where students need to see like student counselors and folks like that. So they're using it in ways other than just pure learning. It's more of a complementary way within their platforms as a way to promote student engagement and teacher and or like counselor type of engagement. And then your live meetings, a lot of times I see teachers needing to collaborate within a platform in order to put together materials. I know leading up to this particular event that we're doing right now, it took like 3 different meetings of all jumping into a session like this so we could share information and get prepared. So live meetings within your learning environment are a way for teachers to collaborate and put their stuff together. So again, let's jump back into our demo and let's take a look at how a live webinar can be used in an actual course. So I'm going to go back to my my LearnWorlds page, and I'm going to click on courses here. And I'm not going to show the process of actually, Panos showed this earlier. He actually showed how to, kind of start adding content to a course. I actually have some courses already created, and I built this one, how to teach a course using live webinars. So I'm going to click into this. And I made my course free just so I wouldn't have to go through a paywall or anything like that. And, like he was showing earlier, I've got some basic information up at the top about my course. Here's where people can register for it. Here's who my teacher is, and how much study time is going to be involved, and all the kind of the stats about the course. And then down below, and here's something that jumped out at me that I thought was really cool about the LearnWorlds platform. Like I said, I sold a company a couple years ago where we were catering to this space. And one of the things a question that came up all the time that we couldn't do with our platform, and I never really found a solution for it until now, was the ability to actually sell content within a course. So not only with LearnWorlds can you sell an actual course, but you can sell individual pieces of content within the course. And where that's applicable is I used to deal with a lot of organizations that would have free courses. Like if you were a big software company and you wanted your customers to learn how to use your technology, they would give out free online learning and kind of pre-recorded learning, so you could go learn how to use their platform. But if you wanted to be certified on their platform, you needed to pay for the test at the end, and that got you your badge and your certification. That meant you could put your certification on your resume and in your LinkedIn profile, and that had a kind of a higher level value than just kind of learning which buttons to push. So we would have people coming in all the time like, hey, we want to offer the course materials for free, but then charge for the exam. And I never had a solution for that. And I realized in setting up my little demo here that you can do that with LearnWorlds. I thought that was really cool that they solved for that problem. Now I'm not charging for my content, but I've got my first lecture set up here, and it is a live webinar. We're going to jump in here, and all I did here was take that embed code that I showed you how to access earlier, and I literally just embedded it on the page, and now it's I don't have any kind of single sign-on set up here or anything like that. So it's going to ask me for a nickname as I come in. But now you'll see I'm in this embedded meeting room that's inside my course. So the course structure would still remain over here. I'm actually logged into this same meeting room in another browser off screen here, but I can, push the PowerPoint. I can pretend I'm lecturing and do all that kind of stuff. I can even open up my whiteboard tools, and I can highlight things as I'm providing instruction. I could be recording this. I could launch into screen sharing. I can launch Presence Manager. One of the things that we have in our platform that, again, I think is really cool as it pertains to online learning is this thing called Presence Manager, where we can force people to click a button to engage as time goes on, so that we can verify and validate that they actually were paying attention for an hour or for 2 hours. And if you deal in the continuing education space, that's a really vital element to your program, is being able to accurately track how long somebody was in a session and were they paying attention that entire time. Again, another big thing that I was always asked over the years that I never had a solution for, and that's a solution that LiveWebinar has brought as I've begun working with them last year. So again, it's not overly complicated. It's a simple copy and paste from the embed code within the admin interface, or using APIs. This whole process could be seamlessly integrated and could become a part of your platform. It's just a matter of choosing to put that kind of effort into your workflow. But again, just the same way I would embed a YouTube video, I was able to embed an entire webinar right inside the web page, and it's a part of the course structure without very minimal effort. And I'm going to jump out of here. I think I'm towards the end. I probably went over my time, so I apologize if I'm a long talker. But I think we're towards the end. And again, like I said, there's going to be some goodies here. So if you're new to LiveWebinar, you've never used it, you can go sign up and use the April 15 code as a way to get 15% off the normal cost of LiveWebinar. You can also sign up for a free trial at livewebinar.com. Same thing with LearnWorlds. I actually went through the process of getting a free trial on their platform. Took about 2 seconds, just name and email address, and I was off and running and building a course. So, and I don't know, I'm going to hand it off to you, Panos. I'm not sure if you had other goodies here as calls to action for your folks.
Yes. Thanks, Matt. It was an amazing presentation. You talked about the importance of live webinars and how versatile they can be. And I think the hands-on part, it really showed how easy it is for everyone to use webinars, either as part of their marketing funnel, like just putting it out there, having people to sign up, grow their email list, and showing what they're about, what they're teaching, or connecting with their audience, and also how easy it is to just use it as a learning unit within a course. So for me, it's always exciting when people, I've seen that in the past few months, people launching without even having one recorded video. They can just launch with a live tool, reach out to their audience. They can do music classes and dance classes and yoga classes. I've seen it so many times, but also like expert teachers who know their stuff. They just have a PowerPoint, they go online, they teach live, and they get paid for it. And that's very, very rewarding for us to be able to facilitate this kind of connections. So Matt showed the discount. We also have a discount from our end. It's April 2021 is the coupon that we are offering in your case. So you can just go to our website. In fact, during these days until the 30th of month, you will find the coupon pre-embedded in your checkout. You don't need any credit cards to get started. Just start a trial, test it, embed your live webinar if this is what you do, or upload your content, your videos, your ebooks, your assignments. Test it, feel confident, see if this is the tool for you, and then you can just sign up. We also offer, just to explain, we offer a 30-day fully money-back guarantee. So just test it, launch it. This is our motto, just launch it. You will never, perfectionism is your enemy. You will never have the perfect course. We've seen so many people who got stopped by their desire to create the perfect course. This is also something that we were suffering from, perfectionism. But now is the time to just launch it, get your content, show it, not to friends and your mother, who will have like obviously great supportive feedback, but show it to your actual customers, get their feedback, improve your course, and be ready to just show it to the world. Our motto for 2020 and 2021 is just launch it. That's the best thing to do. We have some more goodies for you. From LiveWebinar, you will also receive automatically access to the recording. We will also send you an email tomorrow with the recording and a huge zip file with checklists, ebooks, and cards that will help you with everything that you need to create an online course. So it's checklist for launching a course and some course design cards that will help you, give you concrete advice, practical advice for how to set up your courses. And these are all the little things. You may not need all of them. You might be in a phase where you just need one of them. But this is the best kind of advice that we were able to get by picking the brain of all our customers. The most practical things that we've seen out there. We always try to repackage this content and always try to bring expert partners like Matt and the live webinar team in order to provide valuable things and help you progress with your courses. I think we are a bit over time here, but I think, Matt, it was totally worth it, and we probably have, let's say, a few more minutes to tackle a few questions from the audience. I don't know if you have identified our friends here from the live webinar and the LearnWorlds team will probably help us with the moderation. I've seen already that they have answered quite a bunch of questions. One question that I can answer on behalf of LearnWorlds is about the type of learning activities that we support when creating an online course. So you can upload your videos. and we offer full free hosting for that. You don't have to share your videos in YouTube or anything else. We offer secure, unlimited hosting for all your videos. You can create ebooks, which is an amazing form. This is if you have textual content. You don't necessarily need to have videos in your courses. You can perfectly well create a course with textual information. And in some cases, this is the only thing that your students will require. And we even have an amazing importer from Microsoft Word files. So you can just drag and drop a Microsoft Word file and we automatically create a great looking mobile friendly ebook for your students. And your students can even highlight passages of text or add little post-it notes on their text. So the experience is amazing. We offer self-paced assignments for self-assessment. These are just tests for people to play around and see if they know a subject, or also formal assignments with multiple choice and true-false questions. For example, you can create a formal test with 100-question randomized 60-minute formal assignment that and based on that you can offer like a passing grade of 70%. So all these little scenarios can be handled. You can embed Zoom webinars and WebEx webinars, and obviously as you have seen here, you can very easily embed a live webinar and any kind of content from around the web. Anything can be embedded, hosted in a course, and you can have free courses and paid courses and combinations of all these things together. So it's very, very versatile, and the platform can be customized to any use case and to any business model that you might come up with. Any questions for Matt? Let's see here. So it seems that the team has already been able to answer most of the questions. PDFs for students to download. Yes, you can do that with LearnWorlds, and obviously you can also share files through LiveWebinar. Another question. Something that came up during the chat here, as I've seen, is about the differences of LearnWorlds and LiveWebinar. So these are not, obviously, we're not doing the same kind of thing, but we are very much allies in what we do. So LearnWorlds can help you create your e-learning website. It's e-commerce enabled, and it has the full learning management system where you can create and deliver your content. And LiveWebinar can help you in multiple ways, both as a marketing tool to draw in people and teach them live, free, as we're doing now, or a live webinar to become a part of your content. So you can do live classes, and also you can record and repurpose your webinars as evergreen videos to share through LearnWorlds or any kind of platform for that matter. A couple of questions here about yes, scoring quizzes. Yes, definitely LearnWorlds can do that. You can have automated scoring for multiple choice questions, but also you can have assignments, open-ended assignments where people just type a question or upload the file, and then you can have a manual grading process. Switching between the screens for live webinar. Yes, you've seen how easy it is. Both I and Matt did it. You can just share your screen, a presentation, or a window, browser window, whatever. So this has been very, very practical. I definitely like it very, very much when I don't have to install extra software on my computer for accessing a presentation. This makes it so much more accessible, especially if you're on a laptop somewhere, or if you're on a tablet, even a mobile device. It's so great when you are able to access something without having to install extra software. Matt, I guess I'm happy with the answers. Most of the things have been covered. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Well, I saw some questions come in. Somebody was asking about a back-end calendar that could be dynamically updated on your website of upcoming events. We don't have a calendar as a widget per se that you could embed like I did a registration page or a meeting room, but all that information is available via our APIs. So if you have your own calendar on your website, it could certainly be programmed to pull that data through. You could just be setting your events up and then automatically, pulling them via API. And then I see another question about browser support. We support most of your modern browsers. So, I mean, we work best in Chrome, which kind of tends to be the case for a lot of technologies. And the newest version of Microsoft, like the Edge platform, older versions of like Internet Explorer, those aren't going to work because they're not going to support WebRTC. We work with Safari from a participant perspective, but screen sharing doesn't work currently with Safari. It did for a while, then Apple changed something, so we're trying to keep up with Apple. So we should be supporting that again at some point, but for right now, you can't do screen sharing on Safari. So Firefox, Chrome, and Microsoft Edge tend to work best. I've even tested it on the Kindle Fire, which is an Amazon tablet. I was able to get it to work on their native browser. So most anything that's going to support WebRTC protocols will work. But I tend to find Chrome works best. Is my personal opinion.
Great, thanks. But and I think I can offer here a little suggestion about the scheduling part and the calendar. This is not a feature that we do have embedded within LearnWorlds, but we have a very, very nifty workaround, but you might like. One of the ways to set up an online course in LearnWorlds is that you can create a drip feed course, or some people call it now like a cohort-based course. And there you can create separate learning units, and you can specify a date for when this online course will be delivered. The normal way for doing drip feed course is you create an evergreen course, and you have, let's say, a chapter being unlocked every week. So people sign up, and then every 7 days, let's say, they get access to a new chapter. But also, one way to do it is to set up specific dates. So in there, you can embed your live webinars. If you're doing a weekly live webinar, you can embed a separate link in each one of the sections. So you can have one live webinar, let's say, for Friday the 30th of April, and then you can create another one that will unlock on the 7th of May, and so on and so forth. And the date shows on the live webinar. So this can be a great combination of using the LearnWorlds functionality for packaging your course and setting up the structure and putting your dates in there, and then inside using live webinar for the delivery, either for a live course or for something that you have recorded beforehand, and then you just release it on that specific date. So this is something that we've learned this from our customers, the way that they have been using that, and it's a great way to help pace your students and unlock the content gradually. And this we've seen that this helps keeping people motivated and engaged. They don't get access to all the content, and then you lose them after a few days, but they keep coming back for more. This keeps them engaged, and this is something that works great along with subscription and the holy grail of recurring revenue, long-term revenue that we were talking about earlier in the presentation. So I think, Matt, we've covered all the bases. I would like to thank you for the amazing contribution today, telling us, giving us some amazing insights about not only live webinars but online business in general, coming from your experience. So this has been an amazing presentation for me as well, and I'm sure that it was very, very valuable for our audience. I would like to thank everyone from the live webinar and the LearnWorlds team, that the folks that were here and were helping us answering so many questions throughout the presentation. So thanks, Piotr, thanks, Stella, thanks, Maciej, thank you, Alexandra, for participating and also for organizing this whole event. And thanks to all our audience, wherever you are, people, stay safe and come help us, come try the software, and we will be here to help you out, help you succeed with whatever project you have in mind. Thanks, everyone, for attending today's presentation.
Yep. Thanks for having me. It's great being here.
Thanks,
Look
Matt.
forward to seeing everybody again.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.